Judy, what did you eat? What did you eat, Judy? Huh? Tell me. So Saturday morning, I come out here to let the chickens out, like usual, and we always have like a little cup of like treats for them, like some oats or some black oil sunflower seeds, something in general. So when we let them out, throw it out on the ground, and they eat and scratch. Just get them fired up the first thing in the morning, right? Well, I do all that, start to go through the normal routine, and that little crazy bird right there, see her? That little crazy bird has something in her mouth, and she just starts running. Pandemonium sets in, right? Just running everywhere. If you ever see a chicken losing their minds because they've found something they really want to eat, it's quite the show. And then other chickens begin to join in, and as those other chickens are joining in, you know, it's just becoming more and more of a spectacle, and I'm scared they're going to knock over a water, you know, do something, just cause a problem, right? But I'm looking and I see, honestly, here it goes, I see legs hanging out of her beak, right? Okay, if you're not aware, chickens eat small rodents and bugs and mice and, you know, moles, baby snakes, frogs, lizards, I don't know. They eat small things, and it's quite okay. I mean, we like to believe that chickens just come out here when they're foraging and they just eat grass like Maggie's doing. Maybe eat some clover like Sunam here. Isn't that right? Yeah. It's a really nice thought. Huh, Layla? Huh, is that okay, Layla? Is it? It's really fun to think that chickens are all vegetarians, and they're just simply not. Now, granted, we don't exactly want our chickens eating mice, okay? That's not what we're saying. But if your chickens are free range, or they have a run that they're in a lot of the times, like ours are right there, you know, if they have some freedom and they're not in a completely 100% sterile environment, enclosed environment all the time, they're going to get a hold of some things that might not make you, you know, that maybe you wouldn't necessarily want to be eating, right? Now, do they eat poop? No, they're not eating poop, okay? But in fact, if you see your chicken eating poop, then they're probably malnourished and you're doing something wrong. Plain and simple. Or the chicken's just nuts. But the fact is, when they're free ranging out here, they're going to eat bugs, right? They're eating stuff, bugs, and digging in, eating mud and dirt. And they'll eat worms, especially in the spring when it's rained. There's a lot of worms to be found, but they eat stuff. And the truth is, chickens have a good enough chicken sense that they know what they can and can't eat, what's going to hurt them, what's not going to hurt them. And I know sometimes you'll see, like on the egg cartons in the store, they'll say like chickens raised on a vegetarian diet. That's not this. Chicken raised on a vegetarian diet means fed nothing but their feed, no matter what. Probably a cheap feed that's not very good for them, being honest with you, and being kept indoors. Like, and even if it says cage free, it just means it's in a big open barn and they're not in a small cage. Honestly, we've had chickens we've seen chickens eat things or chase things down that maybe, you know, we even necessarily wouldn't be feeding them in their normal feed ration, right? We've had chickens eating frogs or eating small lizards or eating, you know, like I said, whether that was a mouse or a mole, I'm not sure what Judy was eating that morning, but it was something small and gray, and she took it down whole. But they eat things, and normally the chickens look like these, whether it's Sweetness or Tootie or Tilly or Judy or Baby Jane. Notice they all look alike. They all have a certain color to them. They all have the same breed. It's all the same breed. These are all New Hampshire chickens. They're actually New Hampshire red is what a lot of hatcheries will call them. They're New Hampshires, they're correct breed terminology for them. Now these are all hatchery grades, so they're all going to look a little different from each other, but they're all New Hampshire, okay? Every single one of them in New Hampshire. Those girls are feisty. They enjoy, I guess they enjoy exotic food. I don't know, but they'll get after it. I mean, they would chase down a small bird, kill it, and eat it. I promise you they would. Now the other side of that is as well, is that, let's be nice here. No, let's be honest. The other side of that is that simply chickens are carnivorous. They are bloodthirsty in a way, okay? Some people say they're the closest things to dinosaurs we have on the face of the earth today. I'm not saying that they're part of evolution. I ain't doing all that mess. I'm just saying that's what people will say, is that they're the closest thing to dinosaurs we have, okay? But now, They are carnivorous creatures, especially New Hampshires. If you have a bleeding chicken, they will be the one to find the blood on that bird and peck it and peck it and peck it and just make it worse and probably kill the chicken. Just being real with you, a chicken with massive wild chicken instincts like a New Hampshire, especially, they will decimate a flock mate that has bleeding, that has an open wound, and they'll keep pecking at it and pecking at it, and they will kill that bird. They're bloodthirsty. Okay, so but they're also, New Hampshires are also the most personable chickens we have. The greatest personality, the nuttiest chickens, the funniest chickens. They're awesome. And like this one back here behind me, she's molting, and she's a little hateful. She's not exactly the most personable one. That one back there is running. She's kind of nutty, but like, they're great chickens, but they're not the only ones that'll eat random things like that. But in our experience with the chickens we have, they're the hunters. They're the hunters and the foragers, and they'll track them down, and they're gonna lose their minds eating them, and you're not gonna be able to get away from them. Well, like, we would get that rodent away from Judy if we possibly could. I tried. She wasn't having it. It was locked down, and it was another New Hampshire chasing her for it. They want it, right? They want the food. But don't allow the idea that they eat bugs and worms and small rodents and small frogs and lizards and whatnot, small reptiles, I guess. Don't let that bother you, honestly. It's totally okay. Now, again, it's not like we're feeding it to them, but they're going to find it out here in nature. It's just going to be the way it is, and you're not going to avoid that. If you let them out and get free range and forage and have some freedom, they're going to get that naturally, because they are not vegetarian creatures. No matter what people may want to tell you or sell you on a carton, they're not vegetarian creatures. And if you look getting chickens raised on a vegetarian diet, you're also not getting the most healthy eggs you can get. Okay, so like, they're out here foraging, doing their thing, and they're gonna get bugs and worms, and if they find if they dig up a mole, they're gonna wear it out. Especially a red chicken. Okay, especially red chicken. They're gonna bang it across on the ground until they beat it senseless and kill it and eat it if you don't get away from them, right? They're gonna do it, and it's okay. It's totally okay. They're crazy, and they're nutty, and they're sweet, and they're beautiful, and they lay delicious eggs, and that's just the way God intended it. All right, isn't that right, Gracie? Say, Gracie is just the way God intended her, huh? Come here. Isn't that right, Gracie? So I'll tell you something right now. Enjoy those delicious eggs, and don't worry about it if you happen to see them eating something that maybe you wouldn't necessarily eat, because that's just what chickens do, huh, Gracie? So thank you guys so much for watching. Do appreciate it. My name is Jason. This is our Recreational Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you, and goodbye.